What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Scalar Learning. Now, again, we're continuing our trend with solving SAT problems from Khan Academy. We were supposed to do it on Wednesday. I apologize so much to everybody who's watching and trying to prepare right now for the SAT. We didn't get a chance to do it this Wednesday, so we're doing it today. Let me do a quick audio check. Make sure we are good to go.
So much.
Yeah, we are good to go. All right, let's get right into it. And today we are tackling we're tackling operations with polynomials, I believe. And last week we did, let me double check here. Yeah, operations with polynomials. So let's jump right into it. Here we go, solving 5 problems. Again, have not seen these before, so that's always part of the fun and part of the challenge. Let's do it. So question number 1, s minus 2. So which of the following expressions is equivalent? So this is something where you can manipulate it in a number of ways, almost infinite ways, as far as how you want to present it, or how you could present an expression. But notice what's happened. With every single one of these expressions, we factored out a 1/3 out of everything. So what that tells me is I want to combine all the terms, right? There's no s minus 2 sitting out there anymore. I want to combine all the terms and then extract a 1/3 and see what we get. So that's a smart way to approach a problem like this. Usually I say we're going to just solve, but in this case, especially when they're saying, hey, what is equivalent to the following expression above, look at the answer choices and get some guidance from that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these parentheses, and we'll just call it plus s 7/3 s cubed plus 7/3 s squared minus 7s plus 4/3. So this will connect with this guy. Those are like terms, and these are like terms because it's the same degree for s. So s and negative 7s make negative 6s. The negative 2 combines with the positive 4/3. This is really, negative 2 is really negative 6/3 if we have like terms. So now we combine a negative 6/3, a positive 4/3. We'll have a negative 2/3 out here. S combined with a negative 7s, that is a positive s, so it goes up 1, so it goes minus 6s. And then everything else stays the same. Okay, so now we've gotten rid of this. Now we've got 7/3 s cubed plus 7/3 s squared, and then everything stays the same. Now I'm going to extract a 1/3 out, because all of these, right, can be divisible by, or we can factor out a 1/3 out of all of these. So I'm going to factor out my 1/3. Now, when I pull a 1/3 out of this, it's like dividing this by, dividing this by 3. And what we're going to have left inside is a 7s cubed. So think about it. Not dividing it by 3, dividing it by 1/3, excuse me. The way to think about it, if you've done this correctly, is if we redistribute this 1/3, it would go back to 7/3 s cubed. So therefore, we've done it correctly. Now let's go to this one. It would become 7s squared, right? We're pulling a 1/3 out of that as well. Now we pull a 1/3 out of this. This is where it gets a little tricky, and I think some people might be tempted to put 2s, but in fact it's 18s. And how do we know that? Well, if you want to think about it like this, we redistribute the 1/3 and we go back to 6, right? So it's definitely right. And then we extract a 1/3 out of there, and it's just minus 2. Right, because 1/3 times 2 is 2/3. So here's our answer, and the correct choice is, it looks like A. Let me just double check. This one's wrong because it's 6s. This one's wrong because it changes that to a plus, and it should be minus. And that's a plus, and it should be minus. So we've got A. Feel pretty good about it. Let's go for it. And it's correct. All right, let's go to question number 2. We got, so it says which is equivalent to above. So again, let's look at some of these answer choices. These answer choices are all over the place. Doesn't give a ton of help. So now what my thought is, I'm going to just I'm going to multiply and simplify and see what I can come up with. So we got negative 2j squared times 1/4, right? Plus, I'm just going to remove these parentheses. They're not doing anything. So we got plus 1/2 j squared minus 1. Okay. So 1/4 times this guy, 1/4 times 2 is 1/2. So we got negative 1/2 j squared plus 1/2 j squared minus 1. Now look how nice this is. We've got two like terms, both same degree for j squared. But one's negative 1/2, one's positive 1/2, crosses out. And then all we got left over is a minus 1. So in this case, minus 1 is our answer. So let's make sure that's correct. Boom. All right, question number 3. What is the product of this and this all reduced by p? So let's see, reduced by p. I don't exactly know what they mean there. I'm just going to multiply them and see what we get, because that's weirdly phrased, reduced by p. All right. Anyways, let's do 1 minus p times 1/2 minus p. Product is always multiplication. Let's distribute. We get 1 times 1/2 minus p minus 1/2 p. Negative p times negative p plus p squared. These are like terms. So it's a negative 1 and a negative 1/2. So it's negative, let's say 3/2 or 1 and 1/2 p. Like this. Plus p squared. Now let's flip it around. Let's get, oh, actually, no, they have the p squared at the end. And in all of these answers, they factored out a 1/2, so I'm just going to do the same. If I factor out a 1/2, divide everything by 1/2, this would just be a 1, right? 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. This would be a 3p. 1/2 times that would be negative 3 over 2p. And then this one would be 2p squared, because 1/2 times 2 goes back to 1. So I don't know what this reduced by p thing is, but we've got the answer here. And I can see that it matches up with C, right? 1 minus 3p plus 2p squared. So assuming there's no additional step that I have to take, I just haven't seen a question like that. Assuming I've done it correctly, this should be good. So what do they mean by reduced by p? None of them have any sort of extraction of p, so let's go with this. Ah, it's wrong. So and then we subtract p. Now I get it. All reduced by p. So they wanted to do this, and then we subtract p at the end. That was weird phrasing. So if we do all this, let's do it again here. Then we get negative p, negative p, negative 1/2 p. So this would be negative 5 over 2p. Because it's negative 2p minus 1/2, so negative 2.5 or negative 5 over 2. And that would make it 5. That's what they meant. So it was just, reduce was another synonym for subtraction. And that's why this guy is the right answer. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's go to question 4. I should have thought about that one a little more carefully. Let's go with this one. What is the sum of these guys? All right, w6 plus 2/3 w squared. Sum is just addition. 1/2 w squared plus 1/3. Oops, sorry, not w squared, w to the 6th. 1/3 w squared plus 1/4. Okay. These parentheses are doing absolutely nothing, so goodbye. And now we've got like terms here and here, here and here. So let's combine the like terms, and we get, this is 1 w to the 6th plus 1/2, which makes it 3 over 2 w to the 6th. Plus 2/3 and 1/3 combined to become 1 w squared. And then we got a 1/4 at the end. So let's see if any of these match up. So A and B are wrong because this coefficient is incorrect. 3/2 w to the 6th. This one is wrong because it shouldn't be 1/3, it should be 1. So we're going with D. Oops. All right, cool. Final question. Which of the following is equivalent to f of x times g of x? That is just multiplying this expression times this expression. That's all they're saying. So we will write it out like this. And fx minus 1 times x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x plus 8. All right, this is going to be a long problem. Let's see if there's any shortcuts. 1/2 x minus 1. I don't think so. Okay, we're going to go through it like this. Let's see if there's any way we can eliminate any of these guys. I can eliminate C and D because I already know when this multiplies over, the highest value we're going to get is x to the 4th. And There's no way all these terms are going to cancel out. It's got to be B. This one doesn't make any sense. But that would be what I would do if I was in a time crunch. But I'm going to show you actually how to do it. So we distribute this and we get 1/2 x to the 4th. 1/2 times 2 is just 1. And then the x's multiplied, we get x cubed. Oh, wait, I may be wrong now that I'm watching this. It actually might be A, so maybe they do cancel out. Let's see what happens. And then this becomes 1/2 x times 4x, which becomes 1/2 of 4 is 2x squared. And then 1/2 of x times 8 is plus 4x. I'm going to go to, let me move this here. Then we minus, like this is minus x cubed, right? And then we go minus 2x squared minus 4x, and then minus 8. I think I got room for everything here. Okay, now let's look at our like terms. We got x cubed and negative x cubed. Actually, those do cancel out. I was wrong. 2x squared and negative 2x squared, those do cancel out, right? These guys. And then 4x and negative 4x cancel out. So, in fact, my hunch was incorrect. That happens sometimes. And it is 1/2 x to the 4th minus 8. That's crazy. Did not see that coming. That's such a weird setup, but it somehow works. Okay, let's make sure I'm not wrong again. Yeah, boom. All right, so there it is. Operations with polynomials. These are questions that I actually like, are some of my favorite to tackle. I like them better than solving the word problems. I just think they're enjoyable for whatever reason to me. I hope that was helpful. Again, if you guys want to see more SAT Khan Academy questions being solved by me, make sure to subscribe. If this video is helpful for you, please like it. It helps my channel a lot to grow. And we're going to have weekly live streams again on Wednesday. So sorry for this last Wednesday. We're resuming again Wednesday morning. They're super early, so you may not be able to catch it before school or anything, but hopefully you can watch it later and it can help you out. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great rest of your weekend. Take it easy.